Hi, my name is Jennifer. Welcome to Narc Shield. I am doing a video on some memes that I did, and right now we're gonna do one on this meme that I did. I'm reading them right off my Instagram page, which is narc_shield_. It is narcissistic rage isn't about you. It's about the narcissist's fragile ego. Let them have their tantrum. All alone. They are energy vampires. They suck the freaking happiness right out of everybody. The energy that, I mean, you could have so much energy and then you can spend, 30 minutes with a narcissist and be exhausted. So this is, let me see if I can show it. The meme that I did. I don't know if you can see it or not, but there we go. I've got some lighting in here going on, so you might not be able to see it that well. And so I wanted to talk about this one a little bit because people don't understand it. They're like, what did I do? I don't understand. Like, I thought everything was okay 5 minutes ago, and now you're mad at me. A narcissist has a really fragile ego, and everything has to be all about them and what they want. They have to be in control. So you could be in good graces with the narcissist and then 5 minutes later, after having a conversation with them, not be, because you said something that they considered you either you were trying to take control of the situation and that's how they saw it, even if you weren't trying to do that, or they took something that you said in a way that made them feel criticized, even if it's not how you meant it to be. And you're always on it. I mean, it gets to a point with a narcissist, after if you've been in a relationship with them long enough, you just don't even really want to have conversations with them. You just listen to the monologues, because honestly, when you talk to them, something's going to come out and it's going to injure their ego and you don't even know it. And the next thing you know, you're dealing with the narcissistic rage. And the narcissistic rage can be hot, where they're literally just outwardly yelling, screaming at you, calling you names, taking things from you, breaking things. It could even turn into physical violence. Or it could be the cold fury, where they literally just sit there and don't speak to you, you could be in the same room with them and they don't look at you. Or it could be where they just stare at you with, the mean look, Until you go, what? What are you looking at? What's going on? I don't understand. And it's not that everybody doesn't have these traits. We all can do these things. But a narcissist has a lot of narcissistic traits. And so if you want to look up what the traits are, you can look that up. It's you can Google it. What are narcissistic traits, and how many do you have to be a narcissist? Unless it's changed, from what I know, the last 5 years, you have to have 5 of the 9 that they have listed. And it also comes with patterns of behavior. But a narcissist, I'm telling you, you hang out with one of them long enough, they're going to get mad at you, they're going to pout, they're going to give you the silent treatments, they're going to blow your phones up, if they're mad, sad, and upset. And so a lot of people will go, well, am I a narcissist? I've done some of these behaviors before. Again, we all have narcissistic traits. And I don't know what yours are. I'm pretty sure I know what mine are. And if you want to know what yours are, you can go to narcsite.com, and he has something there where you can purchase it, and he will send you all the questions and all that, and you can find out, what your traits are and where they're higher and lower and this, that, and the other. So that's narcsite.com. And so their fury can come out of nowhere. And it could be that if you like somebody that they don't like, they think you don't like them, because why would you hang out with somebody they feel is hurting them? And a narcissist, their feelings are facts. It may have no facts to it, real facts. And if you were to sit and show true facts to a narcissist, show their text messages, videos of them raging and acting out, if you showed them pictures, if you brought in other people and were like, look, don't you remember this is how, they don't care. They are going to still make up excuses for their poor behavior. I almost said a bad word. Poor behavior. And because it has to be somebody else's fault. They deflect, blame shift, they triangulate, they do so many things to not be accountable for the things that they start. They literally have the heart. Saying sorry to a narcissist is like ripping their soul out. They are better than that. You're the sorry one. You're beneath them. That's how they think. I'm not saying sorry to you. You should be saying sorry to me. I'm king. I'm right. I'm righteous. I'm grandiose. I'm me. And you are you. And you should do as I say because I'm the one who's in control. And when you try to do anything that I feel is asserting control, I'm going to squash you. And I was just talking about this on, I think I did a meme on it, so maybe we'll go with that. Maybe I won't bring it up. But anyway, it was the Queen of Hearts. And, you know, when you watch Disney movies, there's always a good narcissist in there to talk about and a good codependent empath in there. So you will always, if you are super close to the narcissist, you will be the person that they target. Whoever's the closest, they will take out their stuff on you, so you're always going to be on eggshells. That's going to be your life if you live with one. You will always be on eggshells with a narcissist. And so when they are taking their fury out on someone else, it could feel like a sense of comfort for you because they aren't focused so much on you. Doesn't mean that you're not going to get any of that fury, but I mean, and they will devalue you and smear you too, right to your face. If it's something that you like, they're going to put it down. They might put your personality down. They always need to be the one who's one-upped and better. And if not, if somebody calls them out or says anything about, you could just be innocently saying that someone else did a great job in something that they did, like a race or a play or raising their kids, you know, they did such a great job. Well, they always have to make it about them. Well, I did those things. I was good at those things. As a matter of fact, and they're going on about it. And here you're just trying to make this one little thing about this person, and you're having a conversation, and they hijacked it. And then they went on and on and on about themselves. And next thing you know, you're just like, what was I talking about? Like, okay. And you just give up. A lot of times you're giving up a lot of yourself just because you don't want to have to deal with the narcissist's fury. And that's going to look like them raging outwardly or giving you the silent treatment. Now, if you are someone who is creating your boundaries and someone rages on you and they're ugly, nasty to you, and you tell them, look, that's not okay, most likely you're trying to give them some grace and give them an excuse, especially if you've been a codependent. You'll try to find an excuse and they keep doing it, but you are somebody who is learning how to create your boundaries and they continue to cross that boundary and you block them from texting, calling, or whatever, or block them wherever it is that that's happening. They may point the finger at you and call you the narcissist and say that you have ghosted them or given them the silent treatment. It's okay to do that if someone is abusing you. If someone ghosts you for no apparent reason and you're having to look for them and find them and you have no idea why, that's a whole nother type of manipulative tactic, and that's something that a narcissist would do and is very unhealthy. But if you have said, hey, look, you know, you can't talk to me like that, this is abusive, and they continue to do it, it is okay to block that person because you aren't going to allow unhealthy people to dump all their unhealthy stuff onto you anymore and make you feel bad. And that's what a narcissistic type person does. They are feeling so bad about themselves that they need other people to feel as bad or worse. And they will find people to target to try to regulate their emotions because they have never learned coping skills to do that. And so unless they go and get help, which narcissists, anyway, people with NPD, they refuse it. They refuse to go into counseling. They don't see anything wrong with them. It's everybody else. And if just everybody else could understand them, then these problems wouldn't be happening. And it's like, I'm telling you, you cannot reason with someone like this. You're always going to have this happen. And you will go through the cycle of abuse with them continuously, where you might be put on the pedestal for a minute, and then you're devalued, and then you're discarded. And let me tell you, even if you're put on the pedestal, if you were dealing with somebody who has narcissistic personality disorder, maybe mixed in with other things, histrionics or borderline or sociopathic type tendencies and so on, they're smearing you and you don't even know it. So if you're not around them, they're talking bad about you. And they will tell other people that you're talking bad about them. So lesson is, if you hang out with someone or talk to someone on a regular basis and all the time, they're talking bad about people, everybody. Everybody's so bad, and they're putting themselves in a position of they're better than. They may be lying to you. They may be the ones that you need to be looking out for, not the person that they're trying to get you to turn against, let's just say, because they do that. They love to triangulate, and they love to separate people so that people won't speak to each other. And then the narcissist is puppeting everybody and watching it all play out. They actually find it quite funny. I think it's more funny when the mask is ripped off and the facade is shown, and you really don't have to do anything to prove that. I know a lot of people want revenge, and they want to say, oh, I want to do this and I'm going to prove this. You leave them alone. They will reveal themselves to everybody who deals with them on a consistent basis. You will see their narcissistic traits or see their nasty narcissism. These people are very unhappy people. They really are. And no matter what, you cannot make them happy. You cannot do it. They're very, very unhappy people who look outwardly to find their happiness. And if they don't get that from you, you are the reason they're unhappy, and they will target you, and they can make your life miserable if you allow it. There might be some great things about these people, but if they're causing you or your family harm, your work environment, whatever that is, if it's causing harm on you, it's best to walk away. You don't have to explain to the narcissist. You can say the one time maybe and then walk away, but don't get into a back and forth thing with them. I was listening to somebody the other day, and it was like, well, I was saying this and then they said this, and it went back and forth and back and forth. I was like, and they're like, they're trying to control me, and I was like, they can try, but they can only control you if you allow it. And usually people like that will feel, a narcissist will find vulnerabilities in people, and so they will use those vulnerabilities to make people need them. And so they may make it where somebody's afraid of them. So it could be your lifestyle, it could be money, it could be all kinds of things. They helped you with a job, they're your boss, and you feel, well, I have to do what they say or I have to put up with this crap, because if not, I'll lose my job. What's more important, the job or your happiness? there's other jobs out there, and I know it's hard, to see it that way, and it feels uncomfortable, but when you start believing in yourself more and you stop putting up with abuse from other people, you'll start feeling stronger. And those people won't want anything to do with you. They will want to get away from you. The abusers will be like, I don't want to hang out with her because it's not easy. You're not easy to manipulate. They need people around them that are easy to manipulate. And so they say all kinds of things to get all the attention that they need from these people and get these people to say whatever and make them feel good. And it's so fake. But a narcissist will believe a lie in a heartbeat too, as long as you're telling them, what they want to hear. But it's stealing away from you. It's literally taking your happiness away and exhausting you. And you're always just wondering when the shoe is going to fall off and it's going to happen again. And so be careful when you are revealing personal things about yourself to a narcissist as well, because they will eventually use it against you. An example for me would be, I like to use examples of myself sometimes because it's easier, but I went on a trip with someone, and I had invited them to go on a trip with me because another trip fell through, and I wasn't going to be meeting up with this person anymore. It was actually somebody that I had dated, and we weren't going to, and it was kind of sad and everything, but not the end of the world, but it was kind of sad. And so I decided to have a trip with someone else. I thought, oh, you know what, I don't have to not go. I mean, I've already got this and this, that, and the other. Maybe this person wants to go. Anyway, I won't get into all that. But I told them a little bit about the situation, that, my heart was feeling a little bit sad about it. And they used it to exploit me later and made up all kinds of stuff about that wasn't true. And I was like, wow, I only mentioned, I was hesitant to even mention it to that person anyway. I remember specifically wanting to tell them more and wanting to, have them have empathy for my situation but I held back because I knew. And I remember thinking it made me sad because I would be like, wow, I really want to say, but that I would kind of hold back. And I was so glad that I did, and sad to see that later they used that small thing to try to smear me and just say bad things about me, and it was really not true. And I don't have that friendship with that person anymore, but I do have the friendship with the other one that I was telling them about. So it's kind of funny. So, these people, they will rage. They will do all kinds of tactics to try to get you to react, or other people to react and also rage on you and be mean to you. And I will go into another video about that later, and I'll have an example of that as well. But you don't have to allow it. You have a lot more power and control than you do. And if you rip the rug out from up underneath them and stop allowing them to have this power over you, you will force them to have to look at themselves, because all of a sudden they're by themselves. It will put them in a bad place, and it will feel uncomfortable at first to you because they may keep coming, but you block them and you just don't deal with it. You can love them from afar. And I've got somebody, it was so nasty and rude to me. Really nasty when I was trying to actually repair something. And that story has been rewritten at least 30 different ways. And I just decided, I could see it even within that conversation that when I was trying to reason with this person and trying to save something, because somebody had asked me to reach out to them because they had hurt somebody's feelings. This person directed their anger towards me at that point because they saw me as trying to take control. And they probably didn't see it that way, but that's what they were doing. That's it, because it's been for a long, long time now. And I cannot tell you the fury that I've had to, I don't really deal with it, but other people do, and I find it quite sad for them. They don't have to, and I can't control them and have them, block people, and they can do whatever they want, and they can have a relationship with whoever they want. But it's just amazing because I literally never meant any harm to this person. Never, I was just like, I'm not going to put up with the raging, whether it be onto me or my family. And, I recommended doing therapy. It depends on who you're dealing with. Some people, it's family members, and you want to repair, you want to still have family members and not have it be divided. It could be, in the work environment, where you're working with a team, and so you want to do some in-house therapy, because sometimes they have therapists and stuff there that help with that. And sometimes it just doesn't work. You try, and that person doesn't want to do it, and you can't force them. And if they have a personality disorder, they're going to never let it go and never move on and never move forward and never they're going to rage on you and smear you and triangulate you. And a lot of people will go into their ego and go, well, I'm gonna call them and I'm gonna say this, or I'm gonna call that person and talk bad about them and show them this. And you don't have to, you really don't, because they will show their true selves. They will. And a lot of people know they're like that, but they're just too afraid to tell them to their face, so they just don't. And the narcissist continues to think that they're okay in doing that. I can't stand the whole enabling thing, so I could go on and on and on about that, and I will at some point have a full-on video on the enablers. But you do not have to deal with narcissistic rage ever. Ever, even if you just take a step back for a short amount of time. I know for me, there's certain people in my life who get like that, and I will say, look, right now, this is how it's. I'm not going to deal with this right now. I've got other things going on. You could be working, you could be babysitting. I'm using examples in my life. Whatever it is, watching a movie and relaxing, but you could come back to the table on it, maybe do some therapy or whatever. But if that person keeps pushing and pushing and pushing, you might have to say, well, look, I'm going to have to block you right now, or I'm putting my phone on silent, or I'm putting my phone in a drawer. That person, if they are narcissistic, they don't care what you're doing. They don't care how you feel. They don't care if you need a little bit of a moment to reflect on things. They just want to rage on you and you to comply. And until you do, they continue and continue and continue. And you have a choice to walk away from that relationship. And it doesn't matter who they are, what title they have. If they are abusers, you don't have to hang out with them. That doesn't mean that they get, that they automatically get respect, and that, just because they are a parent, for an example, or your boss, and you're supposed to just put up with abuse just because they have that title. Those people have a self-entitlement problem where they feel they deserve something that they didn't work for, or that they didn't do anything to gain that kind of respect. And, I've talked about that before on my channel, and what my grandfather always said, that people, that sat at his table earned his trust and his respect. And, people, you don't just get to sit there and be mean to people, and just because you're the boss, hey, you know what, I'm the boss and I get to treat you like crap, and guess what, you have to put up with it whether you like it or not, and you better respect me. No, it doesn't work like that. In the narcissist mind it does, but in reality it does not. That is so not okay, and they can't see it. They truly believe that they are entitled to everything, whatever it is that they want in that moment, that they feel they are entitled to it. But that's not always the case. And so do not take on shame and guilt because they're trying to make you feel bad. Don't even deal with it. Let them go deal with their own emotions. And until they do, they're never going to learn how to figure out how to regulate them anyway. But a narcissist, they'll never recognize it. They will always continue to do what they do. It's sad. It's a different personality. It's a personality within them. It's like having, it's almost like having a, like another personality that lives inside of you, like dissociative personality disorder, but it's not. But it is having another personality that comes forward and feels they have to protect the narcissist. And it did work when they were really young, really young children, because that was a very vulnerable child and they needed protecting, and this was a coping skill that they took on. But as they became older, they didn't need that anymore. There's other skills that you can take on because you're not a vulnerable little toddler anymore. And so there's other skills that we can learn as we get older to deal with different situations in life. And unfortunately, the narcissistic personality took over the real personality of that person and is that person now. And they have just built this construct over time. It's very confusing, I know it is, but that's what's happened, and that's who you're dealing with. You're dealing with a narcissistic personality, and they are very difficult people to have relationships with. It's not that you can't have them in your life, but you need to keep them at a distance or they will suck the freaking life out of you. I'm not even kidding you. There are people that have committed suicide because of people like this, because they have been beaten down so much. And narcissists like people that are vulnerable. So let's just say you are somebody who has borderline personality disorder, or somebody who's super codependent and feels that they can't leave the narcissist because of whatever reason. You're the type of person that they like. They want you to do everything for them. It's not even want, they expect it. Their personality expects it, and you are going to you can stay in a relationship like that, but you will get very, very little back. And you will always be giving and exhausted and on eggshells and feeling, tired, and you'll be the enabler, and you'll be all the things. And you may even abuse other people and not mean to, but that's because you have your own issues to deal with. But we won't go there right now, but this is what it looks like, and this is what it can do. And so I highly recommend you looking into that a little bit more, looking into what narcissistic rage is, and looking into the cold fury as well. And there's great channels that you can learn this from right here on YouTube. And narcissistic abuse is being talked about more today than ever. And it is something that's really important because we all deal with narcissists on a regular basis, all the time. They're around you all the time. It's just how much are you going to allow them into your life? They can be a lot of fun too. There's a lot of fun things too. But if they are treating you bad, if anybody treats you bad, the best thing for you to do is to walk away and not engage. Don't even try to defend yourself, because they'll just come up with something else. They will recreate history, recreate stories, and they will just keep hitting you and keep hitting you and keep hitting you. And you could retaliate and say something to them, but that's not the time to do it if you're going to. So until next time, I hope that you know that I do understand and that I'm not judging you, and I know that it takes time to heal from these types of relationships, because it's basically mind manipulation, and they do expect you. It's like they expect you to, like back in the day, long time ago, the war horses, and they beat them into submission and that kind of thing to do what they wanted them to do and win. You're not, and that's horrible. I mean, look at that. I mean, treating an animal is terrible. So you have feelings, animals have feelings, and the narcissist does have feelings, but they're all the bad ones. Envy, jealousy, hate. They don't feel love. They do feel infatuation. So you could be in a golden period, or if you want to call it the idealization phase, or the love bombing phase. I'm sure you've heard that one a lot. And they can be infatuated because they think that you're saving them in the moment and making them, you're doing all the things they want and they're feeling all good. So you could be in that phase, but you will eventually go into the devaluation phase and you will be discarded or at least put on the shelf for a while, which is still, disengaged from, as H.G. Tudor says. So I'm wishing you the best. I hope that you would like, share, and subscribe. I do not do a lot of videos here on YouTube, but I have plenty if you want to look at them, and I do talk about other channels that can help you, and I hope that it does. I know that you can get the strength that you need to move on and get into a life that you deserve to have. You're not a servant to a person, and it's like you're in prison serving this person the whole time. You don't have to be that person. You are a person. You have feelings. You have wants and desires, and you deserve to be happy. And understand that you will never, ever be able to make that unhappy person happy. It's just, you can look this up yourself and Google it and see. They just unfortunately carry all the bad traits, and you can't force them into therapy either. They might go if they're for a minute, but they never stick to it. So I'm so sorry to say that to you, but you can get help, and you're here and you're being supported, and lots of other people are cheering you on as well. So until next time, I'm Jennifer, and I hope to see you again here on my channel. Please subscribe so that you get the alerts for the new videos, and I will see you next time. Bye.